Okay, a response video to a Professoranton guy. Sort of a acquaintance of Matt's, I guess. He banged into him somewhere on the YouTubes. So anyway, he's a professor guy, so, you know, it's worth arguing with professors, right? Except, I can't figure out what the hell he's saying. So I listened to one of his videos is on this idea of promises and something or other, but whatever. Just, I mean, I'll post links, but you're not, you know, there's no way you can extract much. Yeah, there's just nothing there. So he has this ambiguous theory, and that's whatever, that somehow our life is ambiguous. And that makes us special, because we have to live in ambiguity, you know, and animals don't. But I don't even think that's true. I mean, animals have a whole psychology thing. I mean, you know, you put the leopard in the cage, and it does the pacing thing, and it goes neurotic and crazy, and then it has to deal with a personality too. It has to deal with being a self and being a fucktard and going insane. It's not just living. It's just not eating and shitting. It's doing the psychology thing, which most mammals are doing, because that's conducive to their survival. And that's basically the argument here. Is he concedes the biology. He won't argue abiogenesis or you know, the fact that evolution was guided by basically only two impetuses, consumption and reproduction. But that there's somehow, when human beings did that little subtle change in the brain thing 200,000 years or so ago, that we're now doing something really, really special. And I just don't see any evidence of it. I mean, he just keeps making the argument with these words, like we have this theology, like somehow the universe is going somewhere, and it's somewhere other than McDonald's. But every fact indicates that it's just going to McDonald's. That's all the universe is doing. It's going to McDonald's. You know, it's the only thing living things can do is chase this desire thing, sentient living things. And the rest of the living things are just doing crude, basic programming, consume and reproduce. We're doing it fancier, but that's really all this is. It's the difference between a tricycle and a motorcycle. I mean, it's the concept is the same. At our core, we're still doing the, you know, food, sex thing. And that everything else we're doing is basically to try to make food and sex consistently available. I mean, we want to create a life so we can, you know, secure ourselves food for tomorrow and sex for tomorrow, in a way. You know, yeah, we have this ego thing, we have this, you know, this little self thing and all this other crap, but I mean, these are all just psychological perceptions. And they're not, they really don't have anything to do, that they don't make us distinct. I mean, the other organisms have that psychology. They just don't have the knowledge that makes the psychology even more fucked up. They don't have the same understanding, which makes everything a lot more frightening. They don't have to deal with their mortality and the knowledge that, you know, they're going to get cancer or this is going to happen, all these stuff that's going to happen to them. They don't have to deal with that knowledge. We do, so we have scarier things to deal with. But we can also understand how to, you know, pick the locks of the little happy boxes too. So, yeah, because we can see what's in the scary boxes, it makes life tough. But we can also figure out ways to get more of the happy juice, because we can engineer ways of you know, making the vending machine give us more. We can make our lives more comfortable. We don't have to live in the crude chaos that the animals live in, because they don't have our capacity to, you know, poop in a toilet. You know. So anyway, I'd like to get into conversation with this guy, but like I said, it doesn't seem like there's anything here. It's just saying we need bullshit. That's the argument, basically. I mean, he sort of says it requires you know, it demonstrates a lack of imagination to accept the truth and to leave it there, not to go any further. And it's like, well, what, you know, what else is there? We can all tell stories. I mean, I have enough imagination to make up a god. I mean, that doesn't take a whole lot of imagination. I could make up a hell of a lot better one than the ones these other people are believing in, that's for sure. You know, it doesn't come up, it doesn't require much imagination to, you know, pull 70 virgins out of a, you know, the happy box, the pretend box. So yeah, I can promise myself a bunch of shit that isn't real. But I mean, I don't think that shows lack of imagination. It shows an unwillingness to be a fucktard. I mean, why make up a truth? Why even talk about the possibility of bullshit being reasonable? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the whole point of having this conversation, philosophizing at all, is to get to the root of the thing. And if all you're doing is placating your psychology and saying, well, it's so much more empowering to have a fable to live by, or to have some kind of promise that the future is going to be golden and pretty, and so therefore we'll invest in this thing and have more babies and do more stuff because we're being part of the evolution of the universe to the grand paradise. But I'm sorry, the paradise isn't McDonald's. The paradise is human beings are desire machines, and so whatever the universe is tending to, it's just going to be something that satisfies desire. It's not going to be something more or different than that. It's just going to placate, patronize, you know, more efficiently feed, hopefully, you know, snack. It's going to be a snack. That's what it's all leading up to, snacking. You know, a bag of potato chips. So, you know, you can pretend that there's some other higher mission, that all this psychology is going somewhere else, but it's not, because the psychology is crude. I mean, we can see that with our intelligence. We can see the psychology is still crude, and there's nothing else. It can't be anything other than crude without just being a pretense. I mean, we can intellectually understand that it's a good thing to help somebody else, and we can make ourselves, we can trick our psychology into making ourselves feel good about ourselves because we help somebody else, and we know that's a good thing. You get a little gold star for that, and so it gives us a little bit of ego pleasure. So yeah, we can, our intelligence can in some ways augment our psychology and enhance it, make it more graceful. I mean, we do the little pinky sticking out thing, you know. We can use our big giant brains to figure out that, oh, well, if I hold my pinky out, I have class, you know. Or if we comb our hair, do some other bullshit, you know, we're stylish then. So we can meet the stylish rules. But that's it. You know, the rest of philosophy has got to be focused on the facts. And the fact is consumption and reproduction and nothing else. There's no other ingredient to our origins or to our 4 billion year evolution. And everything about us was built by consumption and reproduction. It wasn't built to make us into sophisticates or, you know, to make us dreamers and you know, chasers of the golden unicorn. But you're not even describing. Like I said, you're just saying we have to have this theology, this theology of purpose. But you're not even defining. You're not even giving us a description of what that would be made out of exactly. What are the magic elements? Because consumption and reproduction, you just can't write much of a story out of that. If you just take the facts and try to make a story, it's going to be a shitty story, and that's what we're stuck with. So you have to just lie. You have to just make up a false story if you want to have interesting characters in it with some sort of grand ideas. But even then, like I said, without a description, this is just like the religious heaven kind of concept. I mean, people describe this heaven, and they don't even describe what you do up there. You know, you just, you drink some beers, play some pool, kiss God's feet. I mean, what the fuck how exactly do you spend your time? Because that's what humans are about, is consuming time in states of satisfaction and comfort. That's what we chase, is this comfort thing. And desire gets in the way of comfort, and pain gets in the way of comfort. And so we have to obey these. We have to avoid the suffering pain thing, and we have to chase the perceived deprivations to keep maintaining this state of I want to feel good. So anyway, like I said, it'd be nice if we could have a discussion about something. I don't even see any ground for discussion, because I think the premise of your philosophy is, well, life is stupid, so let's just make up a better story. I mean, that's going to be the theology, is screw the truth. You know, consumption and reproduction, yes, the truth, but ignore that and let's just make up something else. Let's throw in some extra added ingredients that we don't have any evidence for. I mean, we're just fucktarded psychology contrived by nature to make us good consumers and reproducers. Period. There's just nothing else there. If there's something else there, point to it. I guess that's all I can say. So anyway, till next time, maybe there'll be something, I don't know, say something more direct, and then I can argue it. But I can't argue theology as a concept.